What's up, guys? We got another video. Apparently Stefon Diggs found not guilty. Let's check it out.
On count one, what is your verdict? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
On count two, what is your verdict? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Hearken to your verdict as the court has recorded it. Upon your oath, you say that the defendant is not guilty.
River TV.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Riva, and I'm back again with another video. Now, when this whole Stefon Diggs trial situation happened, I was under the assumption that this was going to go on for a couple of days. Maybe we would have a verdict by the end of the week, by next week. But as soon as this trial started, it has already finished, okay? If you guys are unaware, Stefon Diggs has been found not guilty on all of the accusations that were alleged by the quote-unquote BBL chef, okay? So if you guys are, privy to what's going on in the situation, he had this chef working for him. They got into some kind of disagreement. She alleged that he owed her money. She alleged that, he physically assaulted her.
The victim was his personal chef, whom he allegedly slapped and choked over a salary dispute. According to the narrative, the female employee first went to the police on December 16th and stated she was working as a private chef on December 2nd, when Diggs entered her unlocked bedroom to discuss an ongoing text exchange between the two over money she believed was owed her.
He smacked me with an open hand. I went to try to block him. He took his arm and he came around my neck with his elbow around my neck, and he began to choke me, pressure on my neck.
In what world?
Now, from the first day in trial, I had already given you guys my opinion on that, and there was a lot of huffing and puffing going on.
Yo, I knew when this first came out, guys, it was something shady going on. Now, Stefon Diggs may be a lot of things, okay, but I don't think he went that far. And when you're dealing with women like that, which I think he learned his lesson now, you got to be careful, because a lot of these thoughts are out for one thing and one thing only. They're trying to cash out. And a lot of feelings are involved in this stuff too, guys, okay? Apparently, before we found out this information, we didn't know. We thought it was just her going after bread, trying to get paid. But apparently, no, it was more than that. And I had a feeling that that he was clapping those cheeks, those BBL cheeks, and apparently that was true, okay? They had a physical relationship as well, okay, in the bedroom, and there were some things going on, guys. I think there was some pillow talking going on, and maybe he, may have said that he might help her, with her quote-unquote restaurant, and then changed his mind and realized, I'm not doing that. She got in her feelings, and then she's trying to get paid. So you should try to take him to the bank. And whenever you are gonna sue somebody, especially with somebody with money like Stefon Diggs has, you better be on your P's and Q's, guys, because apparently they ate that ass up in court.
There was a lot of, emotions that she was trying to hold back.
And then he Can I have a second? Can I have a second?
Yes, you're gonna.
And even with all that being said, nobody believed her, okay? And most of the time, women believe other women regardless of the dynamics of the situation, and women weren't even believing her. Now, when it came to day 2 of the situation, day 2 in court, she was off to a very rocky start. She got into some kind of attitude back and forth with the lawyer.
When you told Steph's girlfriend on January 1st, 2026.
I don't understand the question. I'm sorry.
I haven't finished my question.
She escalated to the point where she was saying, I'm tired of this.
Sit her to sidebar, please. I'm tired of this.
Things got so bad that the judge herself had to reprimand her in court for her behavior.
This is not an opportunity for you to interject your own narrative and evade responding to questions the court deems appropriate. And if you continue to do so, your entire testimony may be stricken.
Yeah! Really now?
Now, once I saw in court that she was, dancing and doing the most, after, literally hours after the alleged altercation took place.
How dumb do you have to be? I'm serious. How dumb do you have to be, guys? You're so dumb. At least if you're gonna lie and try to sue somebody for money, At least have the decency to get your story straight and line up all your ducks in a row. But that's how dumb some of these heifers are. They don't see past a certain point, guys. They're incapable of seeing things through. They're in the moment, the now, right? They playing checkers, they're not playing chess. And this is why we got this result, because she got caught in her lies. Nobody, even women, right, who wanted to back her, couldn't back her. There's a lot of women who hate this guy. Okay, he's got multiple babies. He's out here slanging, you know what I'm saying, to stick around. And a lot of women, you know, hate this guy. And they tried to be on her side, but they couldn't. It was impossible.
Yeah, once I saw them show that in court, I was like, it's a wrap. Like, we might as well go ahead and just wrap this whole thing up, because it's not making no sense. And then there was text messages that she had deleted from her phone that basically, you know, she basically was trying to hit him with the gotcha.
Is there a difference between the text messages that you provided to the Dedham police and the text messages that are here?
Yes.
And what is that difference?
I deleted that and pussy.
Guys, when I'm looking at, when I look at her, I just see a dumb hoe. That's all I see. Just a stupid thought.
You ain't lying.
Right? Money hungry, trying to win. And that's it. BBL, fake, just your typical thought, guys. Your typical female in today's society and culture. This is what a lot of women aspire to do, aspire to be. Let me go fishing. Let me either go simp fishing or let me go fishing for some of these athletes, catch them in a messed up position so that I can try to capitalize on them and get paid for it.
Show me the money.
It's just one big giant scam, and she deserves everything she gets. I hope she never gets a chance to open this restaurant she was trying to open. I hope her face is plastered everywhere and everybody knows about her. I hope people continue to do hit pieces on her, including myself, and she never wins. Okay, I hope she's basically ran off the internet, never to be seen again, guys. I hope her BBL goes bad and gets punctured and she has to go get surgery. I wish nothing but the worst for this female right here. I have no sympathy for females who do this and who try to set people up. I don't give a damn how wrong Stefon Diggs is as far as, you know, how he does, as far as his as far as how many women he's out here, you know what I'm saying, sleeping with, basically. I'm not saying that's, you know, right, but at the same time, that doesn't give anybody the right to try to line him up and try to get $5 million off him.
And I'm running that bitch life.
Now, in her, beginning conversations in day one of the trial, she had mentioned that he was sleeping with the person that does his hair, that he was sleeping with all these other members of the staff.
I'm just living the dream.
When you were with Shy and Tali for that week in New York City, you didn't say anything to them about
I don't know Tali. I just met Tali on the night of December the 2nd.
Okay.
Shy Charles has her own, it's a personal relationship with
Ma'am?
Stefon.
Now today, the person who does, you know, his hair, she took the stand, right? And so she got to give her point of view of everything that was going on. And once she did that, everything went south for the accuser.
So I FaceTimed her, I told her what I was doing. She was like, girl, I'm not going to Miami. And she said she's going to go home to Atlanta for a couple of days. Then she's going to come to New York. Well, she's going to go home to Atlanta, but she's going to stop off in New York for a couple of days.
She told me that she was mad about some money. I saw her immediately after the situation, and she never told me nothing about no physical altercation.
Did you notice anything about her face, her physical appearance when you had this FaceTime call? I'm sorry?
No.
Did you see any redness, swelling?
No.
Was she flush?
No.
Was she teary-eyed?
No.
Were there any bruises on her?
No.
Then, you know, they also came with all the receipts, right? They had evidence that she was texting Cardi B and basically, like, you know, apologizing for all the stuff that was going on in the media.
You sent Steph's girlfriend a text message that later appeared on TMZ's website, correct?
Yes.
And in that text message, you told Steph's girlfriend
She looks guilty. You can see it in her face.
that you were so sorry that you couldn't talk to her, right?
Yes.
And you told Steph's girlfriend in that text message, I didn't say that, especially in the way it was written.
Yes.
She was called out for the fact that her lawyer was trying to get $5.5 million to settle this whole situation out of court, so that they wouldn't have to go to trial.
3 weeks ago, your lawyer demanded $5.5 million from Mr. Diggs, didn't he?
Mr. Diggs offered me $100,000 to recant my statement.
That is a yes.
That is the
Your Honor,
only.
Then it comes out that, you know, she actually was saying that she actually did get paid, and she was saying that he was supposed to help her invest in a business and he didn't do that, and so that was the reason being behind her saying that she didn't get paid.
I'm sorry, and this is on page 113 of Exhibit 3. You will be paying me out for the season and the money you said you would give me for my business. Wasted my fucking time being here because you got a fucking circus going on, right?
Yes.
Now this is the thing, okay? Obviously they ended up reading the verdict in court. You can see him literally, you know, crying as the verdict was read in court, that he is not guilty for all of the accusations.
On count 1, strangulation or suffocation, what is your verdict? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
On count 2, the charge of assault and battery, what is your verdict? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Well, sure.
Madam Forelady, members of the jury, hearken to your verdict as the court has recorded it. Upon your oath, you say that the defendant is not guilty.
Well, you know, that's how my people like to handle their business. While your guys are out partying, mine are running routes.
Now I want to know, just like the people want to know, okay? What happens when these false allegations are made against men? Like, do they just leave it alone? Like, there should absolutely be some kind of recourse for wasting these people's time, telling them a story because you got in your feelings and you got into your emotions because you didn't get your way.
How would you characterize your relationship with Mr. Diggs?
I would say it's complicated. We had it started out as friends. It started out as friends, became sexual.
And I don't think that it should
Of course it
even
did.
necessarily be up to the other person to now countersue. I think that based off of the evidence, I think the court system in and of itself should pursue some kind of, repercussion for these women lying.
Of course. But you know what? It'll never happen, guys. It'll never happen because men are always going to get the short end of the stick when it comes to this. There are plenty of men rotting in jail right now over allegations and something they didn't do. I'm not saying guys don't do this and don't commit these crimes, but at the same time, there's a lot that don't, and women get away with a lot of this, guys. And if they are found that they were lying and it wasn't true and the guy gets off, they never pay a price for that. And I think that is one law that definitely needs to be changed, guys.
Takes hits from 300-pound men. If Stefon Diggs used 10 out of 10 strength to choke someone, anyone, that person would have bruises on their neck.
No, I think he's already done a good enough job as to kind of like tarnishing his own brand based off of the stuff that he's been doing outside with all these, different women or whatever. But that's up to him, right? But on top of that, you are now tainting his name. You are now creating, false allegations against him, about him putting his hands on you, about him doing all these things, and you're just doing it for sport.
Sir, if you please stand and face the jurors. Sir, you are placed at bar for the trial, charged with 1 count of strangulation or suffocation.
Assault, the Commonwealth just described in their opening statement in only a few sentences. It never happened.
Do we need to be reminded of how you was dancing after, a couple hours after you said that you couldn't breathe and all of that, and you were so distraught?
That's so crazy, bro. Like, how? Literally, I'm thinking days. No, this is the same day. This shit is the same day. This hoe was in here dancing because she thinks she got a case. She thinks that this is not even going to trial, most likely, and that she's going to get broke off and she's going to get this paper. Huh? I'm telling you guys. And this is why I'm so happy. I'm so ecstatic that she lost. The only thing that isn't going to make me more happy is the fact that she's not going to pay any dividends for this. She's not going to get any repercussions. But I guess, getting her name dragged through the mud and on social media and whatnot, and people plastering her and doing hit pieces on her, I guess that's going to have to be enough. But man, I would have loved to see her do some time behind this. But it is what it is.
Like, I want to know the same thing everybody else wants to know. What will come of these situations in regards to these women after they place these false allegations on these men?
I looked down at my pants. I had peed my pants, and I had just came off my cycle, and I was bleeding really bad again. I guess because I was so scared, I changed my pants and I cleaned up myself, and I came back in the room, and that's when I texted Sonny to get my flight.
Bitch, shut up!
Because if it goes to the wayside and that's just that, and it's no big deal, and he don't countersue or whatever, how is that going to be teaching the lesson? The only thing it's going to be doing is giving all these other people clout from these situations and say, oh, well, I'm going to go ahead and sue him too. Maybe if I have my stuff tight enough, I'll win and I'll actually get the bag. Maybe because he won't want to be, have to go through this kind of shame again, maybe he'll be more willing to settle out of court. And so now, he'll be my victim.
And that's why a lot of guys settle, because it's less trouble to go ahead and just get that out the way and settle than going through all of this and having more publicity and, putting gag orders on people and just paying them to go away, even though they did nothing wrong. If you talk to a lot of celebrities, guys who have money, they will tell you that they've had to deal with a lot of this in the past. And it's a crazy world out here is what I'm saying. And with the women that he's dealing with all these different women, I don't think this is over. I think he's going to go to something else, maybe not as extreme, but when you're dealing with all these thoughts, there's something bound to happen, guys. So he's definitely going to pay for this at some point. He's already kind of paid for it. This is just one of the thoughts he was dealing with. But hopefully he learns his lesson here and trims back, cuts back on the thottery, and kind of takes it easy for a while.
And you're the person in the bubbles on the left?
Yes.
And you write to Sonny, hey, so I looked over my transfers, payment history, and they sent payments, 11/7 and 11/21, totaling $4,000. See that?
Yes.
So you knew that you had actually been paid for 2 of those 3 weeks.
Now, again, regardless of the mess, the drama, the foolishness that he have going on the side, obviously he was found not guilty. Obviously there were multiple holes in this woman's story. She thought that she was going to get a grand payday, clearly to pay for the restaurant or whatever it is that she wanted to open, and none of that worked out.
Yeah, man, that's going to be the end of the video. I want to thank everybody for watching it. What do you think, man? Leave your comments down below. How do you feel about this case? Do you think this THOT should definitely pay some sort of price other than just being drugged through social media? Leave your comments down below, guys. If you did enjoy the content, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button, because I drop content every single day on this channel. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.